Good morning, good afternoon, namaste from me to you. Just gonna come here and speak again. Don't know what I'm gonna say, but Spirit is like, just open your mouth and I shall fill it with my words. Last night, I feel like there's been a preparation, a long preparation. We're talking a long preparation. It almost feels like the crescendo or the peak is taking place right now. Like everything is mounting to this moment, and I've had moments that have felt like that before, but this feels very, very different. Spirit is all over me. I'm struggling to find the words or to articulate what happened or is happening. Essentially, in a nutshell, many years ago, I was in a very dark place, and my mum was dying, and I was very depressed. I didn't know how to cope with those feelings. I didn't know how to cope with where my life was or how it felt. Anyway, there was one evening that I was kind of crying out to my friends at the time, and nobody really could hold my grief or understand how I was feeling, and they would just say things like, oh, have another drink, or, you know, smoke this or whatever. Nobody really knew how to support me, I suppose. And I remember this particular evening feeling like, I didn't know I was going to talk about this, feeling like, I don't know if I wanted to die, but I just wanted to close my eyes and for me to wake up and my life not to be my life. And so I came home and I took about 60 paracetamol, and I just wanted to sleep. I was so tired. I was so just wanted a different reality, I guess. And so I overdosed, and I got very cold and I couldn't sleep. Obviously, the paracetamol had made my temperature drop quite dangerously, and I was in and out of like consciousness, and my room was filled with angels, and they came to me and they said, go and tell someone what you've done. You will not die tonight. You have you're here for a reason, and you've got a long life ahead of you that God wants to use you. And they were all in my room. And so, yeah, I went to the hospital. I told my parents. I felt this tremendous amount of shame, making a bad situation even worse for them. But at the same time, it was like I was giving up my right to my body, to this vessel, because I kind of just wanted to escape from it. I just didn't want to be here. Fast forward a little bit, I was in my room one day, and I've always had a connection to God, on and off in different ways. The narrative of it and the way it looked would be different, but I was in my room when I'd moved out. My mum had passed away by this point, and I felt God. I felt God fill the room, and I saw the face of God before me, and I was just undone. Like I couldn't look at him. He was so holy, and he said to me, you gave up your right to use this vessel, so can I use it? And I just wanted him to like stop looking at me, and I was like, just anything you want, just take my life and use it. Just stop looking at me. His eyes were ablaze, like it was the most intense moment. And then I was in the universe, and he was taking all of the stars and he was stuffing it into my skin suit. And as I was watching this vision, as he stuffed, I felt it, and I was like shaking and spasming, and it was an interesting situation, but I knew that he was filling me with heaven and filling me with this wisdom, and everything of him, everything of the presence of God was being put inside me. And I guess much like a seed that gets buried, that experience was buried, and that has time to unfold. And I've always been spiritual. I've always been a messenger. I've always, to a part, spoken on behalf of God. But he's been calling me to this place recently where where it's like everything of me has been burning away, and all I want to do is be who I was created to be. And yesterday, I was feeling myself. I was in this energy. I was like feeling all sensual, and the divine feminine, her power is in her sensuality. It's in her. I can't express it. But I was in this place, and I was just like so inspired to be myself. I don't give a fudge anymore. I just want to be myself. And I was like in this place and writing these songs, and I was in the fire as this divine feminine, this beautiful, as if I can say that like I'm not talking about myself. I could see me, but it wasn't. It was like I was looking at myself from other eyes. And I was like, whoa, like she's filled with God. Like she's a force to be reckoned with. She's divine. It's easier to say she, because to say it about me feels weird. But the divine feminine is a power force filled with the spirit of love and healing and magic. And I was in that place just like dancing and, you know, feeling embodied by femininity. Anyway, I was in this place dancing away, and that evening I know I'm a bridge, I know I'm a door, I know I get swept into heaven sometimes, but last night was so different. I've seen myself as an angel. I know that I speak with my hands, and I was in this place, the room filled with light, and it's always on my right hand side, and the left hand side was the world, and I was having to hold my partner's hand just to stop me from, I felt like I would just turn into light. And I was in this place, and all the angels were there, and they were me and I was them, and there was this light pulsing out of me and all around me, but only on the right hand side. And on the left, I knew I couldn't get lost there. I just had to speak from that place, and I started to speak a direct message for my partner about his life, and a direct message from the center of God. And it was so powerful and so beautiful, and I wanted to document it because I know that this is going to continue, and it's almost like I have to balance now these two realms. I was a cross between heaven and earth. I was a cross shape, and God speaks to me about being the door, being the bridge, and speaking, like telling people what needs to be said. Like, there are so many lost people, and if you're one of them, just know that you're loved. Just know that you're so loved and so seen. And there's more to come. There is so much more to come for you. So if I could wrap this up, it would be, don't give up. The banquet table has been set, and there's going to be a feast. I love you.